Hey, today we're talking about the Pro Bowl, the Grammys, and yes, there is a Super Bowl right around the corner. Plus, our Beasts and Busters on That's What She Said Sports. And welcome to That's What She Said Sports. I am your sports chick, Nicole Monique, and I'm with my co-dude, BG.
Yeah.
And we want to welcome the rest of our sports chicks and sports dudes who are listening to us not only on our podcast on Podbean and iTunes, but also on the I-95 Sports Network, where they bring the East Coast style, talking everything sports. But here on That's What She Said Sports, we're all about the ATL flavor. Remember, I-95, your sports network. So, BG, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful, man. Just got back from Colorado, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Had to get that Colorado experience.
Yeah, I see that.
I kid.
Yeah, I know. Because I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
Because everybody from Colorado should be in New York. I'm just saying.
Right.
So
that doesn't mean that they didn't bring the Colorado to New York.
Right.
Just saying.
Right. So how was your weekend?
It was good, man. It was good. Very productive.
Okay.
You know.
As far as
honeydews.
Oh, the infamous honeydews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Got a few of them done. You know what I mean? So strike them off the list.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But other than that, it was.
So whose husband gets a gold star?
This guy. Right here.
Okay.
What about you, man? How was your weekend?
Well, you know what? I felt like Willie Nelson. There was a lot of on the road again.
On the road again?
Yeah. Left.
I just can't wait to get on the road again.
Pretty much. Left Friday. Me and a girlfriend went to Michigan to surprise my mom for her birthday.
Nice.
You know, obviously there's tons of snow, but it was like, okay, we're at a good place. We can kind of sneak and go.
Right.
As we're getting there, the snow comes. Yeah. And as we're there, a snowstorm hits.
You can have all that.
So literally it's one of those, in and out type meetings. But then as we're leaving, more snow.
Yeah.
And, I haven't driven on snow in a long time. I've been in Atlanta for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's funny how it all comes back to you. And the bottom line is drive slow.
Drive slow.
That's all you can do.
I don't want no parts of that. You can have that.
Yeah, you have nothing to prove. Just drive slow. Yep. And my girlfriend who was with me, she had never seen that much snow.
She was horrified.
Well, she wasn't horrified, but she was just kind of like, what is going on? Yeah. So, but you know what? I got to surprise my family. I got to see my mom and dad. Got to see my cute little niece who's 5.
Nice.
Who busted me at the window as we pulled up to the driveway. Nobody's looking out the window.
Really?
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, she like flings the blinds and she's pointing.
She heard the car.
There's Aunt Nikki. There's Aunt Nikki.
Oh man.
So, but
she stole your thunder, but that's fine.
That's all. Just a little bit.
She's 5, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? She gets a pass.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but it was just good. I got to see my aunt and talk to some other family on the phone and everything.
Good.
So my sister had cooked. She made she made Mexican.
You have a sister that cooks?
You know what?
I'm sorry.
Be quiet. But she made my favorite Mexican food. She made some enchiladas. So
what? She made some enchiladas?
Yes, and she baked a cake. So yeah.
Stop playing.
I know.
What kind of cake she baked?
It was a pineapple cream cheese cake.
Oh
yeah, it was nice.
And you brought none back?
No, I did not. If I had, I would have ate it while I was driving to the car because my nerves were shot.
I know. If you've been in the car for that long, I would have eaten it too.
Yeah.
Should I have ate that? Maybe a few car seats.
Seriously, because coming back normally was what's a 10 to 11 hour trip turned to like 13, 14 hours because there's 2 hours where I'm driving 30 miles per hour because I can't afford to go fast.
I'm no good after 7 hours in the car.
Yeah.
I'm no good.
Yeah.
I have driven all the way from here down to Melbourne, which is right at about 8 hours.
Right.
And after that, I'm about ready to
let
pull
the folks know you're talking Melbourne, Florida.
Yes, Melbourne, Florida, not Australia. But
just saying.
At the end of that trip, I'm ready to pull my hair out.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's saying a lot, considering I don't have any hair. Mm-hmm. So 13, 14 hours in a car.
Yeah. Well, remember, it wasn't straight. I mean, we had to do stops.
But still.
So, because, it was kind of cool coming home, too. My girlfriend had never had White Castle.
Oh.
I had to give her the White Castle experience. Oh. So, yeah. And
fresh White Castle.
Oh, my God. It was amazing because we don't have White Castle, folks, just so you know, in the Atlanta area.
Harold Kumar. Y'all like Harold Kumar for real?
We have Crystals. And there's no comparison
it really
when
isn't.
it comes to Crystals and White Castle.
Being from Florida, I used to think that that's a myth. It's the same thing, but it's not.
No.
Truly, it is not.
White Castle is in a class all by itself.
It is because I have, I've ate so many White Castles before I almost wanted to kill myself. Yeah.
So we had that, we had that whole Thelma and Louise experience.
That's what's up, though.
Where we got to, she got to experience snow, some White Castle.
Nice.
We got to listen to some old school music as we were coming and going. So you can't beat that.
Thank you. We don't want to hear the playlist, but yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Fine then.
Yeah.
Don't hear me singing Madonna like a virgin.
No, that's what's up, man. It's nothing like going home, man.
Right.
Surprising family. For us that are
and sometimes you just need that.
Absolutely,
man. I mean, obviously every year I see my family, but I hadn't seen my mom on her birthday in a while.
Right.
Just because schedule, and then of course her birthday is always around some sort of winter storm warning or winter storm, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I have the time. I'm gonna make it happen. And the snow is not going to hold me back. And
that's what's up, man.
So we just did it. So it made me feel good.
Yeah, it warms my heart too, just hearing about it.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday, Mama.
Yes, Mom. Happy birthday. Actually, today is actually her birthday.
Oh, look at there. It's not belated. I'm on time.
So happy birthday, Mom.
Yes, I'm on time.
From your favorite child, your oldest.
Wow.
Oh, I know.
All of that? Really?
Well,
How much does that cost? From your favorite child.
From your favorite child.
Me, Mommy.
So remember, folks, you can reach out to us via Facebook or Twitter using the hashtag SheSaidSports. Again,
Love
on
us.
Twitter, hashtag SheSaidSports.
Right on.
So last night was pretty interesting. We had kind of a twofer going on.
Did we?
And if you were out there on the Twitter world, you got to experience the Pro Bowl.
The Pro Bowl? Yes.
And then you also got to experience the Grammys.
The Grammys.
So, but let's talk about the Pro Bowl.
Absolutely.
There was new changes, new rules, and even new uniforms.
Right.
And if you look too quick, you thought Oregon was playing.
Right on.
Because Team Sanders, I love their uniforms. They're probably my favorite.
If you weren't colorblind before, after watching that game, you are now.
Yes.
We are not blue.
But it was nice. And for all you who don't maybe keep up with the Pro Bowl, it started it started like in 1970.
Right.
It's where they merged the AFC and the NFC. Basically matching the top players in like the American Football Conference and also the National Football Conference. And before, from 1970 to 2009, it was usually held on the weekend after the Super Bowl.
Right.
Super Bowl. Because you kind of give the guys, even the guys who made the Super Bowl, a chance to go to the Pro Bowl.
Correct.
And they would always play in Hawaii.
Get some anticipation.
But since 2010, the Pro Bowl has been played on the weekend between the conference championship games and the Super Bowl.
Right.
Which, for some people, it's
a little bit of a damper.
Right. Now, beginning this year, the teams were not based on the two conferences.
Right.
Okay. So we had instead captains. We had Deion Sanders.
A little draft action.
And then we had Jerry Rice.
Right.
And they, like you said, they got to draft the players that they wanted.
Right.
So that would mean that you would have some players from the same team actually play against each other.
Right.
And the winners took home $53,000 while the losers took home $26,000. For this particular game,
still not shabby for a day's work.
Right. For this particular game, Team Rice won 22-21.
Nice.
And for me, like I said, I watched it kind of going back and forth.
Right.
Because Pro Bowl was one of those things where when I was younger, I really did get into it.
Right.
But I also think that was a time before social media was so big when you really didn't know a lot about the players.
Right.
So it was really interesting to kind of see them out of their, if you will, their natural habitat. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, you got to see like their personalities and that kind of thing. Over the years, I just don't get excited.
Right. You lost your taste for it.
And plus, I feel like the guys just stopped playing.
Right.
It's just kind of more or less like, oh, we're on vacation. We can take our family. We'll suit up. But they weren't really hitting.
But the thing of it
anything.
is like around the mid 80s, it was a little bit interesting because, they you had a lot of trick plays and things of that nature, and you could tell that they were doing it for the entertainment value.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, they line up and play, but it's like they don't play hard because, okay, this is not a real game. Let's just get here because the fans want to see us and collect the check.
And there's still some, they played harder last night. I'll give them that.
Than they have in the past few years. I agree.
But it was still that element of, I tackle and set you down.
Right.
They did all but pull a flag.
Right.
It's still not, it was a little bit more physical, but they were still nice about, I tackle you, and then I set you down gently.
And are you okay?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the piece where I'm like, okay.
Because we're purists. We want football in its purest form.
Right.
We want somebody's mouthpiece to get knocked out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want somebody on the ground looking like where'd that truck come from. So, but, it is what it is.
But what's interesting about that, though, B, with that, they drew 11.4 million viewers still.
Wow.
Whereas the Major League Baseball All-Star Game only had 11.
Wow.
So, I mean, football fans are going to watch any form of football, good or bad. But I posed a question on our website, which you can go to twsssports.com, is how would you feel if the NFL did get rid of the Pro Bowl? And personally, they could get rid of it for all I care.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be missed.
How do you feel about it?
I'm right there with you. But not only that, though, in its current format, you had, Rice versus Prime.
Right.
Can you get captains that are going to be as interesting or, if not more interesting, in the upcoming years? I don't think so.
Well, okay, so they are going to be changing captains.
That's the understanding that I get.
Okay.
But again, that's where the challenge comes in at, because I don't think you can get two more interesting personalities to do it. You got Prime, who's a corner. Jerry Rice, arguably the greatest receiver to strap on up. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
They're both rocking the gray beards.
Which was cool. I mean, they're older guys. Some guys try to give them, some grief about that, call them grandpa and uncle. I'm like, okay.
Bump that. I enjoyed that.
They're older guys.
Right.
It is what it is.
Sports your silver. I do. You know what I mean?
And for you guys, salt and pepper is always sexy.
You know what I mean?
For us ladies,
salt and pepper's here.
Not so much. So
right.
Just saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Nick Foles of Team Sanders was the offensive MVP. He's the Eagles quarterback. He had completed 7 passes for 89 yards and 1 touchdown.
Still getting it
Where
done.
Derek Johnson of Team Rice was the defensive MVP. He made 8 tackles. So, it was interesting because on Twitter, there was a lot of people who were kind of like, this game sucks. Right. There was a level of entertainment, obviously. Right. I think what helped is having Deion Sanders and Jerry Rice. I mean, they were really into the game.
Right.
It was very animated.
Right.
And you felt like the guys were trying to give it their all.
Right.
They wanted to give it, to put on some sort of game. I mean, I don't think they ever went in with the intentions of, we're not going to play.
Right.
But it's still one of those, I think it's just hard too, the week before the Super Bowl, we're all hyped for the game.
For the game, right.
So, and then I think another thing too that hurt, you got the Super Bowl in, 10-degree weather.
Right.
You got these guys who did make the Super Bowl.
Right.
Laughing it up, kikiing, having a great time in Hawaii.
Lays on.
We got 2 different pictures going on.
Yeah.
So, that played a part too.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. What do you think? Give me 3 things that you think that they could do to improve it.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, I like the idea of the captains.
Okay.
I do like that.
Right.
I think it should be on maybe the Saturday before the Super Bowl, wherever the Super Bowl is being played.
Okay.
And because then you already have those people who are there for the Super Bowl.
You'll already have a fan base, right.
The fan base is already there. It's kind of like gives me that little appetizer where I can see my guy who didn't make the Super Bowl, but I still get that one last chance to see him.
Right.
I think that would be huge.
Okay.
I think having it even a week before, a week after, and I know some people would say, well, then I missed the whole Hawaii experience to take my family. But at the end of the day, it's that whole thing of, well, you were picked to be in the Pro Bowl, so that should be a big thing. So I think, like you said, it's just all built in. Make it a weekend thing.
Right.
Then we can kind of get rid of some of those other little things that they have with a lot of the celebrities, which I know are fun and that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, it is celebrating the best of the NFL. Right. So you have the Super Bowl game on Sunday. You put that Pro Bowl game that Saturday. I think that would be huge.
So you're talking like maybe get rid of like the celebrity flag football game and replace that.
And
with
maybe
the Pro
you can
Bowl?
have that kind of stuff, but. The main game that Saturday would be the Pro Bowl, right? And then have those festivities start maybe like on Thursday and Friday, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, just move some things.
No, I mean I totally agree because that was my thought as well. Yeah, make it a whole weekend type of thing. You know, all to build up to the big dance at the Super Bowl.
And then if you could have it back at a dome and we get out of the cold weather.
And not only that, you can develop a media buzz around it because then you'll have all the key players there. You know what I mean? All the usual suspects will be there. You know, let's get it in.
Now you still wouldn't have the Super Bowl players playing in the Pro Bowl, obviously.
Right, obviously.
So I get that piece. Right. But just to have those substitutes who are substituting for those Broncos who made it or those Seahawks who made it still there.
Right.
That's cool.
But check it out. Now, wouldn't this work if the game is being played Saturday?
Right.
Super Bowl's on Sunday.
Okay.
Those guys could still show up in their jerseys, on the sideline, so you'd still see your favorite player there.
Yeah.
At the Pro Bowl.
I think that would be huge.
You know what I mean?
And then we can give a shout out to that winning team.
They need to hire us.
I'm just saying.
They need to hire us.
I'm just saying.
They need to hire us.
Do what you got to do.
Hello.
Roger Goodell. Give us a call.
We can make that good money like that.
We will help the Pro Bowl.
Right.
So I know you asked for 3 things, but I think once you get that, moving into the Saturday before,
man,
what else do you need?
Boom.
So.
Boom. You in there.
As my sister would say, boom.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? You in there.
Right.
In fuego.
That's it.
Like enchilada. Like Mexico.
So let's talk about, like I said, the other event we had the Grammys.
The Grammys.
Which to me is kind of like, that's like the Super Bowl of music.
It is.
You can't get you can't get any bigger than that.
Right.
So just want to give you all just kind of the list of the winners. I'm sure everybody watched it, but for those who possibly didn't, we'll talk about the winners real quick.
Don't know who you were that were sleeping while you were sleeping. This is what took place.
The record of the year was by Get Lucky by Daft Punk featuring Pharrell Williams and Nile Rodgers. I love that song. I really do. Song of the year was Royals. That was Lord, which I'm a huge fan. I love that too.
Right. Yeah. We know.
Best country album, same trailer, different part, Casey Musgraves. Best Best pop vocal album was Unorthodox Jukebox, Bruno Mars, which I know is your boy.
That's my dude.
Who will be playing at the halftime of the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be interesting. Best rap song collaboration, Holy Grail, Jay-Z featuring Justin Timberlake.
Holy Grail.
You had best pop solo performance, Royals, Lord, again.
Right.
Best pop duo group performance, you had Get Lucky, again, Daft Punk. And then best rock song, you had Cut Me Some Slack by Dave Grohl and Paul McCartney. It was, honestly, it's probably one of the best Grammys I've seen in a long time.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because the Grammys is looking like the Pro Bowl. After these last few years, you might as well just get rid of it.
Okay.
Or just select the winners and not do the whole show.
Okay.
But this one was like from beginning to end. It was just, I don't know if it was because it was going a little ceiling, it was going a little faster.
Right.
I think the biggest change they did was they do most of the awards before.
Right.
And they just do like the big ones during the show.
Right.
But I just seemed like they had more performances.
They did.
And that's what really I felt like kept everybody's attention.
There wasn't a bunch of fillers. They had a lot of good performances,
right?
So it kept your attention for sure.
Yeah.
But in my own opinion, and y'all have to forgive me on this, you know what I mean? But we keeps it real around here. You know what I mean? We keeps it real. To snub Kendrick Lamar, I think that's an atrocity.
But that's a Grammy thing. You always have that one guy who gets snubbed.
But here's a guy like me that I'm that guy. Analyze this.
Okay.
Here's what it says to me. Okay. A couple years ago, remember Frank Ocean kind of cleaned up?
Yeah.
Nobody knew who he was. And right now, you still don't know who he is.
Right.
I think these guys are going to be the same.
As far as Daft Punk?
No. Ryan Lewis.
Macklemore
and Ryan Lewis. I think they're going to be the same.
Okay.
Now, what's the common thread between the two?
You tell me.
I'm glad you asked. Their promotion of the same-sex lifestyle.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not phobic or anything like that, so that's fine. But I think if it's going to be a Grammy and it's going to be somewhat of a fair playing field. So what you're saying
is the Grammys was political and they didn't actually look at the art.
Bingo.
And I'll tell you what's interesting about that. It's funny that you said that because Macklemore later came out and said Kendrick Lamar should have won. That's why he said he kind of sat there because he was actually shocked.
Boom.
So...
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Kendrick's performance was
sick, right?
Undoubtedly one of the hottest performances ever.
He performed with
talked about
Imagine Dragons, Radioactive.
What?
The whole thing.
That was that
murder. Drop the mic, boom, done.
Right, walk off the stage.
Killed it.
Did it. 7 nominations and you win not one.
Yeah.
That is an atrocity.
That doesn't make any sense.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't make any sense.
So the Academy, really, they really need to look into that because that was totally unfair.
I'm sure they're feeling it. I'm sure they're feeling it.
I'm sure they're getting a lot of backlash. But then they should.
Right, but then that's also going to be the lasting power of Kendrick Lamar.
Absolutely right.
Kendrick Lamar is that dude.
I'll say this. I'll go on record right now. Although this is a sports show, but we like the arts, as y'all know. Music.
That's what we do. Pop culture.
Music is love. Love is music. You know what I mean? I would say the future of rap is safe in this kid's hands.
Oh yeah.
This kid is talented, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like before the show, we listened to a few snippets, and it's like, wow, You know what I mean? That's him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, he has a lot of material out there.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the game like I used to be, back in the day, because my taste is still a little bit conservative. But those ones that have the catchy, the hooks and stuff like that, I'll give it a listen, and I'll give it a fair ear. My son has been high on this kid for a very long time. Yeah. And I was like, nah, I have no clue what you're talking about. Right. And I didn't do the homework.
Well, when I heard Swimming Pool, I was hooked.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So to have heard this kid, and for my son to kind of be like, Dad, no, you need to hear some of this underground stuff. Yeah. This kid is largely talented.
Oh yeah.
And I'll venture to say, and if you haven't heard him yet, hear him first before you critique.
Well, here's the thing: you've heard him, but you just didn't know who he was, because he's on everybody's song.
Stuff.
Yeah,
I will put this kid in the category of the Tupacs and Biggies of the world.
Oh yeah, and I said that when I first heard him, I was like, I felt like there was some spirit of Tupac in him.
Yeah,
I felt that.
And see, the thing about it is, for me in the hip hop world, being an old school old head from the from the beginning of time,
with your little silver,
with it, right?
As you mentioned before.
You know what I mean, with my silver. You get hooked on what you heard first, like Rapper's Delight, right? The whole rhyme scheme, and having a hip, the hip, you get stuck on that because that's what you were introduced to. This kid is a storyteller, much like that Southern playalistic Cadillac funky music that you find right here in the A-Town. Right. That to me is the epitome of what hip hop is all about. Yeah. And he can flip it. You saw him with the Radioactive last night.
Oh, that whole piece,
incredible.
Honestly, that was enough for me. If the Grammys had to shut down and end for whatever reason,
I'm good.
After that performance,
I'm good.
I was good.
I was golden.
Good. So obviously, opened up with Beyonce and Jay-Z, which was cool.
Did it open up? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
I see. Producer said grinning. I see all 32 of his teeth.
Hey, it was like me hide the women's and children's.
Yeah. So
wow,
Beyonce was doing what Beyonce does.
Beyonce need to sell that stuff, man. Yeah, if you can drop a kid and look like that quick.
Okay, but first of all, let's just be real. Come on, folks. Okay. That baby is 2 years old. It's a toddler. Right. I think people are thinking that she had the baby last Monday, and she looks like she will tell you. She had to put the work in.
No, but let's keep it real now. We've seen some sisters who had a baby 5 years ago look like they dropped it yesterday. So let's keep it real now.
I feel you, but it also took her 2 years. So and then she's doing the vegan thing.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is, if I could wear that outfit, I would be at Publix today.
Okay.
With a cart full of meat, just walking around with that outfit.
Which vegetable would I be?
You are stupid,
man. Listen here, man. You know what? I think there's a thin line between being sexy and trashy. Yeah. But I think she told that line, and she was provocative last night.
No, she was definitely. I didn't feel like trashy would be Miley. That was trashy. What Beyonce did,
that was the definition of trash.
Yeah, what Beyonce did, that was sexy. And then to also do that with her husband.
Man, they murdered it last night.
Because people were kind of saying it was a little too much, for an opening act. And
whatever.
Then I heard people say she was grinding on Jay-Z. Okay, that's her man.
That's her stuff.
Okay.
Well, why not?
If somebody sees a video be twerking, Clinton better be behind me.
Hello.
That's all I'm saying.
Hello.
Okay.
You see me doing the wine, you better be Big Red right now. I'm just saying.
You just called your wife Big Red.
I'm sorry. Sorry. That's personal.
Okay.
That's personal.
Yeah, Mrs. BG, call me. That's all I have to say.
Goodness, I am in trouble now.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
So we're talking about these different moments. Which was your favorite moment of the whole night?
Hey, listen, hands down.
Okay.
Radioactive.
Okay.
Hands down.
Okay.
And no slight to Beyonce, because Beyonce does what Beyonce do.
Yeah.
But that was just surprising. It was eye-popping. It was exciting.
I would have to say I had two. I'll give you that one.
Right.
Then I had to give her Daft Punk. I'm a huge fan. And to have Stevie Wonder sit there, the old and the new, Nile Rodgers from Chic. From Chic.
Yeah, from Chic. Look at you.
Oh, come on now.
Shake and bake.
I know my music.
Look at you.
Come on
now. I am really impressed.
Whatever.
No, I'm genuinely impressed. Because as much as you and I go back and forth about music history, I mean,
but see, here's the thing. I like a little bit of everything.
You do.
I like my rock, my country.
You do.
I can go back to my big hair bands from back in the day.
Okay.
Because I was feeling Metallica.
Okay.
R&B, everything.
Did she say Metallica?
Pop. But that's what I do. It's a little bit of everything.
For me, it's
my classical.
Yeah.
I love it.
Andre Bocelli.
I love it all.
Andre Bocelli.
I love it.
Yeah. But but you know what? Here is me. I'm an abstract guy.
Okay.
You know, I like kind of, you know, the strange stuff.
Right.
I love that Daft Punk do the robot thing. So you don't even.
And don't speak.
Oh,
I love that.
man. You know, folks,
I'm so good, I don't even have to speak.
Right. People like to kind of like, that's a little strange. No, it isn't.
No, it's not strange.
No, it isn't.
And every generation or every genre of music has that strange.
Right.
So it always kills me when people say, well, it's weird.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Because back in the day, some of you old heads, you probably thought Elvis was weird.
Right.
You know? So.
And then some of you early 80s folks might have thought Prince was weird.
Yeah.
They probably still do.
Right. But that's some of the best music you will ever hear. Okay.
Around here.
So.
Little red.
Now, I did like The Massive Wedding. I like what they did because that was different.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't like my girl dressing up like the KFC Colonel when Madonna came out.
Okay, can you want to explain?
Because you know
that?
I'm a huge Madonna fan.
Okay,
but she looked like a cross between the KFC Colonel and like Boss Hogs from the Dukes of Hazzard came together and had a baby.
Right,
that was a little much for me.
Their star child.
I'm just saying.
You want to kind of because everybody was kind of talking about Madonna's performance.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
Did she?
But I don't know if it was too much.
Couple of Merlots,
Botox in the face, so we couldn't really get it out.
A little Ciroc. I mean, what was it? Because she was on that cane like.
No, but she had the pimp walk out though.
Right.
She was doing
but
the pimp walk.
When she got there, you could have swore the stage was moving. Am I right? Said, am I right? But by the time she got there, looked like that cane had a little shimmy to it. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah,
Madonna?
that piece is a little much.
And then it's like she was like totally concentrating to sing. It's like, hopefully I don't forget the words.
But what the bad thing is, she arrived in the same outfit, but it was black. So she came looking like the Quaker Oats boy, the Quaker Oats man. Right. So it was just bad from her whole thing was just bad from the start.
She looks good for 75 though.
You know what?
She does.
Well, speaking of somebody else who was messed up, Pharrell's hat. Who, by the end of the night, had its own Twitter handle and 15,000 followers. Oh, yes, you heard me.
Dude looked like the handler of Curious George with that hat.
All I wanted to know is, did Yogi Bear know what was going on? Did he know that the Ranger was at the Grammys? And do you know Arby's tweeted him and said, we want our hat back?
Yeah, it did look like he had a little midget up under that hat, though, didn't it? Cause you seen that bad boy kind of sat like right here like this? Yeah. You know, for y'all that can't see
and
me.
I forgot who tweeted it, but somebody said only Pharrell can stop forest fires.
Exactly.
Or can prevent forest fires.
He did like a forest ranger though, right? Please pick up your trash in the forest. Please do not.
Yeah, but it was interesting. I think another thing that's so cool about this too is, you know, especially for all you all who are in the Twitter world, when you have an event like that, it's like all of us sports folks who spend a majority of our time,
right,
you know, watching, listening, talking sports, analyzing it. We kind of take that same approach with the Grammys. And that's what's so cool, because you have these guys who, you know, like I was able to talk about the Grammys with Hannah Storm. Right. You know what I mean? Right. That's cool. Where any other time people just think it's just football.
Common ground,
but I think people forget, even in the sports world, we have other interests.
Hello.
You know? Hello. So, and I you know, I love anything entertainment.
Man,
so.
My favorite saying is life is but a song. That's why I sing. Because life is a song worth singing. You know what I mean? Whatever, man.
All right.
Hey, y'all.
So, Mr. Life
y'all have to stop paying for this concert in a minute. I'm just saying now.
So, with that, Mr. Life is but a song. Like I said, we do have a Super Bowl that's coming.
We do.
But is it just me, or does it feel like the weather is bigger than the game?
It is.
Nobody's really talking about the game.
It absolutely is.
And do you think that's a good thing, a bad thing? Are we gonna miss out on the Super Bowl because we're so consumed with the weather?
I think win, lose, or draw, Roger Goodell has an issue on his hands. Mm-hmm. In the history, well, maybe in the earlier days because there wasn't a choice. But since there's been a choice to play the Super Bowl in perfect weather, now you want to take it to the East Coast? Yeah. North at that?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense. So he's going to get some backlash on this. Yeah, and lots of it.
And what's interesting too is we have to remember that the Super Bowl is actually being played in New Jersey. We've been calling this the New York Super Bowl. Well, the folks in New Jersey are not happy. They're saying that's our Super Bowl, and guess what? We're gonna give it to you.
Yeah, you can have that,
because if it doesn't turn out right,
you can have all
you can
that.
Trust and better believe we're gonna be talking about New Jersey,
and hopefully you get fan support there.
Yeah,
because you know a lot of folks are not down with that whole ICE thing, man.
There's actually people who work for let's say other sports networks,
right,
who said that they were told they have to be there. They don't want to go.
Oh yeah, I can believe it.
There are people who do not want to go to the Super Bowl. I can believe
it. Anytime you have a Super Bowl and it said that they'll be giving away free warm packs.
Yeah.
Free warm packs? Yeah, that's a problem.
And the tickets that we've been told were selling like hotcakes, they're not.
No, they're not. They're selling much like snow cones.
Well, first of all, I think
in New Jersey.
Let's think about this too. With the Super Bowl, what is it about watching at home? The commercials.
Right.
That is such a draw.
Right.
So if I was in a dome, fine, not that big of a deal. I'm going to miss the commercials, possibly I could DVR and whatever. But when I'm outside and it's like I'm freezing and I sit there thinking, oh my God, what, am I missing the Doritos commercial? What am I missing? I'm going to be hot for real.
Now, speaking of that, what happens if they do have to push the time back or even for another day or so?
Well, right now they actually have it to where, depending on the weather, they might have to play on Saturday. Which is just going to mess a lot of us up who usually shop for the Super Bowl on Saturday. Right. And there's already a shortage of Velveeta. Right. So, you know, it's just a lot going on. Okay.
Gotta get my big screen TV.
Could my wings not be available on Saturday? I'm just saying.
Because remember last year that the guy stole a truck of them.
Yeah, he did.
$60,000 worth of wings.
Right.
Who does that?
And why don't I know him? I'm just saying.
Why don't I have his number?
Why don't I know him?
He has a pager. He has to page him.
But with that, advertisers are still paying $4 million for 30 seconds. Incredible. So for all those there, it's going to be a very cold 30 seconds.
Incredible.
But for all of us at our house, watching it on the big screen TV with our wings of Velveeta.
Right.
Can you imagine $4 million for 30 seconds?
Man. And the disappointing thing is some of the commercials have been leaked already.
Yeah, and I hate that too. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to see those.
Please don't kill my vibe.
Thank you.
Please don't kill my vibe.
Which is another Kendrick Lamar song.
It is.
So, by the way. But yeah, let me experience all that.
Yeah, all that
Sunday.
Give you all yours.
Yeah.
Don't cheat you.
So, are you excited about the Super Bowl?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I'll be honest. I mean, I tell you what, it's the weather.
Since you gave us the big no.
It's the weather, man.
Okay.
I mean, and to know that possibly it could be manipulated for that reason, you know what I mean? Who wants to watch the Super Bowl with an overcoat on? You know what I mean? That's not the Super Bowl. And then they can't tailgate? Ridiculous. Right. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, no tailgating.
Like I said, I just see it as, I mean, it is what it is, but it just amazes me that we had the Pro Bowl with the guys who did not make it. Their teams didn't make it. Sunny Hawaii, chilling, everybody smiling, having a good time. Tony Gonzalez doing his thing. Hi, Mom. Everybody's in the camera.
Right.
And then we had the guys who beat all those teams in 2-degree weather with a chance of a snowstorm. Seriously? Come on.
Man, it makes
and
no
then
sense.
It's the conversation, Peyton Manning in the cold. How are the Seahawks going to fare? It's just that whole hype that we normally have. Right. People are just kind of, let's just do it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still excited. I'm all about my Denver Broncos.
Right.
I'm all about Peyton.
You all about 18.
I'm all excited, but it just seems like that, I don't know, that Super Bowl mystique and hype just isn't there.
It's not, man. It's not. It is frozen.
Ooh, that's
what it is.
Good.
Right. You like that? You like that? Yeah, I tied all that in just like that. Yeah, I might be like a hairdresser or something, like I was braiding and stuff. I tied it all in. Yeah.
Alrighty.
But yeah, man, it's crazy, man. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
What's the idea behind taking it to New Jersey anyways?
Well, here's the whole thing that kills me. A lot of times they take it to these cities, or the cities that win, it really helps their city. Having it in New Jersey and New York, it's not going to help them. What the Super Bowl is going to be, what they're going to experience that Sunday is like normal for New Jersey and New York. Right. Just because there's so many things to do. It'd be different if you had it again in a dome in like Minneapolis or Detroit or something, to where that city could actually use that.
Right.
You know
Especially
what I mean?
Detroit.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It is what it is. I hope this is an experiment that they'll see didn't exactly work and the people didn't like, and we can keep it moving. And
then my thing is, Roger Goodell, man, I mean, this dude here, I mean, forgive me, but this dude is the worst. Why would you just be so just right and exact on that?
Yeah.
Why not have a plan B? You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like the NFL doesn't have a gazillion dollars as it is.
Yeah.
Let's just say, hey, if this doesn't work out, let's just move it.
Right. Well, right now their plan B is Saturday.
Exactly.
That's their plan B.
Yeah. Complete with ice.
All right, folks. You are watching and listening to That's What She Said Sports. I'm Nicole Monique, and I'm with my co-dude BG.
Yep.
And it's now time for our Beast
and
damn busters.
Bust a bus.
So in our beast, we have to give it to our Australian Open winners. For the men, Stanislaw Wawrinka. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I had to kind of pause.
You're not going to get me on that one. Nope.
And for the ladies, Easy Lina. Can't beat that.
Yes.
Carmelo Anthony, who is just... Talk about having a big weekend. He had a Pro Bowl, Grammys type weekend,
right? Where
he scored 62 points against the Charlotte Bobcats, came back the next night, scored 35. But that 62 that he scored against Charlotte, he broke Bernard King's record of 60.
Wow.
So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, like, I was just open, my teammates, they got me the ball in some good places. And, it's like, anybody, when you're in that zone, there's only a couple players that know, what that's like.
Is that your Carmelo Anthony?
That's my Mello.
Oh, well, thank you.
Like
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, not really, but
just
that was interesting.
Yeah, just a surprise appearance, here on the show, like,
Have to give a big beast to the Boston fans, giving a standing ovation to Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett when they came back to Boston. With that, they had a really awesome video tribute. If you've not seen it, you can see it on YouTube. And you know what? I just have always had great respect. Those Boston fans are amazing.
I don't, man. I want to bust Danny Ainge in his throat.
Okay.
The big three should still be in the beam, man.
Okay, but see, you just went off a rail.
I did. You're right.
I'm talking about the Boston fans.
I'm reeling it back in.
The hardworking guys and gals who paid the money, sit in the stands.
You're right. I'm reeling it back in.
I'm not talking about Danny Ainge, because he will forever be a buster in my heart. But I'm talking about...
Why? Because he bit Tree Rollins' finger? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just from when he played back in the day,
right,
to what he did for the ball. See, now you got me.
I'm sorry.
Focus, man.
I'm so focused, man. All right.
Anyway, back to the Boston fans.
Okay.
Big up to them. That's just class.
Class, man.
Okay.
Class act.
That's called respect and admiration. Right. And that's how you're supposed to act.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You've had somebody who did right by you, did right by the city, did right by your team. Here are these two guys who, KG his whole thing was, I got to help Paul Pierce get a ring.
Right.
And that's what they did.
Right, man.
That 6 years that they played
CMB.
together. So.
CMB. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, again, that left.
New Jack City.
To the left. By the way, the Nets won that game. So.
Yeah, it's all good. It's okay.
All right, folks. Now it's time for our...
We need to know.
What?
Go ahead. No.
Yeah, well, I had to throw that in. It's still important.
No, it wasn't.
Really?
Because you're talking about the fans.
Because the Danny Ainge thing really was not that important.
Okay, so we're even then. We're even. Move on. We're even. We're even.
All right, folks. Now it's time for our busters.
Bust a bust.
And I'm going to let you handle this. Nick Faldo.
Oh, my gosh.
For his hateful comments about Tiger.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you BG.
Haters everywhere we go. Haters everywhere we go. What's up with that, man? I mean, you know what?
Well, why don't you tell everybody the story and kind of what he said?
Nick Faldo just went in on Tiger.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, he's playing on the oldest, the easiest course over here. He's used to just having his way on this course here, and he's just stinking up the place today. I'm thinking to myself, really, dude? Really? You know what I mean? At 70 years old, your son has set. You know what I mean? So, and this guy's playing on his second tournament of 2014?
Right.
And you want him to rip it up? Seriously?
Yeah.
Come on, son. That's hatred right there. He was angry.
Okay.
He was really angry. And see, my thing is, the reason why
the good thing is I'm glad you really didn't feel anything about it.
Yeah. It made me feel some kind of way. But, I really despise that. You know what I mean? Don't just do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you give people the wrong impression, not only about him as a person, but about the game itself.
Right.
Golf is not an easy sport. You know what I mean? You can't just turn it on and turn it off.
Right.
It's not like, hey, okay, well, if I get this block, then I'm going to the house. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It's all on you. It's more mental than it is physical.
Okay.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, dude, it's his second tournament of the entire year.
Right.
So give him some time, player.
Okay.
It's not like it was a major.
Wow. And then your voice got a little like Mariah Carey in there.
Because that's my kinfolk.
It got a little high.
That's my kinfolk, man. That's my kinfolk. So I like nobody talking about my people like that.
Well, just expect that same kind of passion. BG is going to be doing a show called A G Thing. and that has to do with golf. So
absolutely, positively,
we'll be premiering that show in the next few weeks.
Right.
So just expect that same level of passion, frustration, and Mariah Carey voice.
That was a little dig there. I felt that kind of, in the lower midsection, like a body blow.
But I think it's cool because golf is your thing. We've talked about that all year.
Yeah.
And you love it. You have a passion for it. You play it.
Right.
So I'm excited about the show.
Me too, man. Thank you. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right, so our next buster goes out to the Mississippi State coach, Rick Ray. He lost his cool at the end of the game against Ole Miss. He cursed at Ole Miss guard Marshall Henderson. And if you know anything about Marshall Henderson, he will make you cuss.
He will.
Okay. He did his thing, and the coach just said, F you.
Funk you.
Okay. Now, before we get into he's a kid,
right?
He is 23 years old.
That's not a kid.
Yeah, he's a grown man.
That's a grown man.
He's legally able to vote, drink, and get on your everlasting last nerve.
Right.
And that's what he did. But in the same token, this man is playing college basketball.
Right.
And it was wrong for the coach to cuss at him.
Right.
Now, once this kid graduates and he happens to see him in a parking lot, and if he just happens to be behind a car and boo-doo, I'm kidding. Jokes, just jokes. But we got to give him a buster for cussing at him. So
right, yeah. But I don't think he should apologize though.
A lot of people are saying he shouldn't have. Plus, if you see the video, Marshall Henderson said something to him.
Right, first.
Again, we're not excusing.
Right.
Because we get the dynamic of coach player.
We just saying.
But Marshall Henderson was all big and bad and walking a certain way.
Yeah.
He said something to him, and the coach, I believe, responded. Again, that good old-fashioned lost temper. I forgot where I was.
Right.
So.
Excuse me.
He should have had a woo-sob moment. Right. But I'm sure
Reel it in.
If he ever sees Henderson in the parking lot,
he going to give it to him.
I'm just saying.
Two kinds of ways.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he going to get it.
All right, folks. So thank you for watching and listening to What She Said Sports Talk Her Way. Remember, you can catch our podcast on Podbean, iTunes, and our YouTube channel. And remember to follow us on I-95 Sports Network. Be sure to visit our website at twssports.com. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at TWSS Sports. BG?
At Big BG, the number 1.
Like us on Facebook. Check us out on Google+. And like always, we want to know what you think. So,
on.
Let us know. Twitter, #SheSaidSports.
Yeah.
BG, any last words?
Nope. Good? Love on us. Love us as we love you. We enjoy doing this for the peoples. And thank you so much to I-95 Sports Network. We love you guys. Thank you for bringing us on. Everybody else, follow us, love us like we love you. And as always, when we depart the show, the BG stands for Be Good. Till next time.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Till next time.
Minub new.